you know how things begin. You tell yourself, hey, this is it. This is the beginning. And that's what it becomes. For you, for me. That's because beginnings are arbitrary. They only happen when you tell yourself they're happening. Maybe that's why they happen the way they do. Anytime you want them to. Could be this very moment. Right now. This is as good a time as any. The one we're in. As of now. There's a phrase. As of now. Where everything is. Where everything's happening. Where every beginning that's ever begun has had to begin. Here where we are. Now, as of now. This instant, within all the instances, where all the beginnings, and all the endings for that matter, come and go. Here, where we are, in this huge, immense moment, are all our yesterdays. See them, one next to the one before it, next to the one before that, next to the one before that, way back.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into...
Tiny House Live. There we go. Good evening, everybody. Good evening to the little tiny house environment you know and love so much here on Wednesday nights, right here in high in the hills of Petticoat. And this is your professor, of course, coming to you once again from the little tiny box high in the hills. Looking forward to every Wednesday that I bring you in here. You know, I don't know what it is. I spend like a couple of days thinking, 2 or 3 days thinking about this show, and then about a day or two recovering from it each week, and then I'm prepared to start all over again. And I just love this creative circle that it's one of the things that's been good for me in this COVID environment for the last year, was kind of the unbounding time to go inward, as I hope you all have in this opportunity, believe it or not, that you had within this last year and a half, we'll say, because for me, I got a lot done, and here we are still, and I'm so glad that you've tagged along with me in the rebroadcast from the Redwood Cafe, and just the connection, trying to keep the connection going of the community at large that we know so love in Sonoma County. We're so blessed to have the amount of talent in this county that we do. Trust me, I've been your audio engineer for 3 decades. I know when people ask me, Professor, what does make a good show? What does make a really valid artist? What's the ingredient? What's the recipe? You love to cook, and I always say, to me, it's really only one word in artist or material or anything you approach in your life, and that's honesty. Honestly, because as an engineer, when a band plays or an artist performs, the first thing I think of is, well, do I believe it or don't I? Is he good or isn't he? I mean, if he's good, I believe it. And so that right there rings true in so many talented people in our community. And I'm really, really blessed tonight to have one of our county strong in this county in my little tiny house tonight. And I primed him up with some gumbo, man. And we've had some great conversations, even just coming into this evening. He met Louis from a distance, so he knows the llama. He got the tour. So yeah, right here, sitting in my tiny house tonight with me, Spike-Sikes coming in right here. I'll get a little split screen going up here in a second, but right there he is. Say, let me turn you up here, Mike. Sorry, Spike. There you go. Say hi to everybody.
Hey, how's it going?
It's so good to have you here.
Thanks so much for having me, man.
Absolutely.
Very much appreciated.
Well, the opportunity came around, and I went, God, I got to call Spike because I know he'd jump on this, and you did, man. You did. Yeah. I know it.
Yeah, it's a great honor to be on your program.
Well, thank you, and you put out such a nice statement earlier today on being honored to be here, and I'm, oh man, I'm the one who's honored because, people come here, and we do what we do together in a creative mode, and that's really what this is about. Is that kind of getting together and do a team up and do something together that really works out. Here, I'm distracted by my own creativity, but I'm going to pull in our little split screen here. There we go. And see, now he's looking over his shoulder. He's seeing me. We're seeing each other. This is a little great environment, isn't it?
It's fantastic.
And the world can watch us. For whatever. We should juggle. We should work out a juggling thing,
right?
Something like that. Fire act or something. We should do something in this room. But I'm just once again, I'm so glad to have you here.
Well, I super appreciate being asked to do this, and
oh man,
it's great to like keep the music going to participate in something and with somebody that has had a big part in keeping all these broadcasts going and just featuring all these local artists. We all, I know, appreciate it.
It's a long list. It's a long list. Man. I mean, when we started this COVID thing, I immediately went into rebroadcast mode and did 3 nights a week rebroadcasts of all the bands that had played at the Redwood Cafe for the last year and a half plus. Remastered every single one that went back out, so it sounded better than it did live because you can fix things in here, and just had a lot of fun sitting there running shows back and kind of partying in here with everybody because it was this whole show I could listen to, and it was really fun.
Yeah, it was definitely fun for us. I can remember it was, about a year ago that you did one of the rebroadcasts for the Awesome Hotcakes. And it was a real treat. Just
where did you watch it? Where did you watch it?
I watched it from home. I watched it with my wife, and we kind of had the computer up and watched it there. And
that's awesome. Well, for me, it was a lot of fun going back through all that, and it was the difficult part was trying to figure out which ones can I swing to pull off. I'm really picky about audio, as you might know.
Oh, sure.
And video for sure. So I want it to be good quality because you could have a really poor quality video and a great audio, and people still watch. But if your audio sucks, no matter how good your video is, they're going to go home. It's all about a balance. So it's I've tried to maintain that in here, and I think we're going to accomplish some good stuff tonight.
I'm ready, man.
I know. I've got a couple pieces of history for us, so people can get better acquainted if you haven't already been acquainted well enough with Spike's Awesome Hotcakes. I got a little opener here that'll get us all started, and we got to talk about your new release. I've got a little example here of your California days, and
we just tried to make the most of the kind of the downtime. I mean, we were really fortunate to be hooked up with Harry Gale, and
he's, by the way, the Zen master. So you couldn't, and he's watching more than likely tonight. He obviously knows this is going on. Harry Gale, love you,
Harry.
I know, really. If you work with Harry, when you walk out of that room, you just kind of go, dude. Charlie Musselwhite knows. There's so many people in this county know Harry.
And what I love is that Harry works really fast. So, I don't actually like to spend like lots and lots of time in the studio. I like to kind of come in prepared and have an idea of what we're going to do and just try to track it quickly. And Harry was all about it. He's faster than we are. So, we went in and tracked this record over really just a few sessions.
Oh, really?
And
how many songs?
12.
12. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of work to get down in. Yeah. How long were your sessions, roughly? Just curious.
I think the first two kind of main tracking ones were probably about 6 hours.
Oh, wow, that's good.
Yeah.
Good. Get in there
In
and
that
get to work.
range.
I've just turned out a process with Harry. I just finished redoing a video and resyncing to a Redwood Cafe performance from a band called Greenhouse.
Okay.
And Harry, they bought the board mix from Bubba, $50. Took it to Harry. Harry remixed it all, made it sound great. Gave it back to me. I resynced it to the original footage that I shot, already edited, and turned out a great product. 14 songs in 3 hours in here. You know, Harry did most of the work. He had to do all the remixing. I just took his good and resynced it, which was the hard part.
Right. Teamwork all the way, though.
All the way.
Yeah.
And once again, working with Harry Gay on Route 44. Yeah. So
we took our downtime, and we, took just kind of the blessing that we definitely were dealt in getting to work with somebody like Harry.
Yeah.
And just tried to make a record that, I don't know, I would say we were sort of vision casting for the future, like hoping that things would be a lot better in a few months down the road, and that gigs would open up.
They are.
And that when they did open back up, and people who already kind of liked our music, that they'd be hoping to hear some of the tunes that we do live, but that also they're looking for music that would kind of uplift them, make them feel better, make them feel like they still have permission to take some time to dream, and that's kind of that was the whole vibe we were going for. And it was awesome to see the rest of the cats in the band. I think they were all on that same page, on that same program, and then I know Harry was also on that same wavelength. So
yeah,
it was nice.
Were these new original songs of yours, or are they? You said how many songs again? What's again?
We did. There's 12.
12.
There's 12 tracks on the record, and 3 of them are cover tunes, and then the rest are originals. And
awesome.
then of the originals, most of them were songs that were a couple of years in the process, but there were at least 1 or 2 that were fairly new when we went into the studio.
Awesome. Hey, answer me yes or no to these questions.
You got it.
Did you play guitar on it?
Yes.
Did you play keyboard on it?
Yes.
Did you play harmonica on it?
Yes.
Did you play saxophone on it?
Yes.
Let's see, what else did he play? What else you got?
Well, I got to play Harry's grandfather's vintage ukulele.
Oh, ukulele too.
Yeah,
of course.
And some flute.
And you got a flute.
Yeah,
see, that would escape me. I don't know if I've seen you actually play the flute. No, I have. You play a flute in your awesome hotcake set.
Every once in a while, I torture everyone and I bust it out. And
it didn't affect me that way. I didn't recall the fact. So there you go. And ukulele, Catalavuk.
Well, we had the title track is a ukulele. I wrote it on a ukulele, and I wanted to have that sound on the track. And then we got to the studio, and I had brought a ukulele of my own and kind of described what I was looking for with the song. And Harry was like, well, if you want, I have this ukulele. And he busted out this vintage, I think it's a Gibson.
Nice.
I would have to double check. I'm not great on the brands and all that stuff, but
quality.
I mean, the thing was, it was a ukulele from like way back at the turn of the century.
Yeah. And he knows what to expect from it. Even more importantly.
And it sounded incredible. It was like, well, this far exceeds my.
So the title track is called what?
Take Some Time to Dream.
And is that the name of the album?
That's the name of the album.
There you go. Well, I'm going to hold back on one song because I really, really like this, and the video was done by Tracy Rose, your drummer and evidently very talented guy. So I'm going to hold back on that one a little bit because it's really special. I really like it. I may hold even for the closer because I like it. Were you going to play California Days?
I hadn't planned on it. No.
There you go. Then we're just going to hold that one in our pocket for the closer tonight because people will love it. The visuals are wonderful. It is so Sonoma County, it's so California. The song has been ringing in my head, so I didn't know if you were going to play keyboard tonight, if you're going to play that song or anything like that. So I kind of have this, whatever happens, happens, and I'm open to the outcome, not attached to it.
That's right.
That's right.
Ready to roll with it.
We are. You know what? On that too, I think what we really need to do is give the folks a little history. Those who aren't maybe possibly as aware or in your pocket as you might think they are. We got some people who need to know what Spike's Awesome Hotcakes do.
Okay.
And so I've got a great cut that my brother Bubba did the audio for. I remastered and made into video for your rebroadcast. Cut it back down into an individual segment for this show. That's a lot of work for one song. I'm telling you, I'm tired. I need to take another vacation. You know, I just had one, right?
Man, we all need a second vacation.
I just had a great vacation. Spent some lovely time with a good friend in Big Sur, and listened to Tim Bloom and Greg rather from the Mother Hips. Just a fantastic duo set out in the woods at Fernwood in Big Sur, and surrounded in people camping and wood smell and smoke. And that's the first thing I've had happen like that in a long time.
Doesn't get much better than that.
No, it doesn't, man. I needed it so much too, just to disconnect. You know, it was really healthy. But on that note, we needed to bring you up to our friends here out there. And once again, thank you all for being here. Yes, you. It's just so glad to have you here tonight. My friend Spike-Sikes right here. Awesome Hotcakes. We got a bunch of stuff coming up. Some songs coming up right after we come back from this little video. Hello. And yeah, we got you got any gigs happening coming up?
We got a lot of gigs
all
coming
right,
up.
we're going to be talking about that too, because that's really good news to hear, as I'm sure you all have. And I think I have a festival little thing I'm going to play a little bit too, but that's not now. All right, let's go backwards in time. A year and a half. I should have wrote the date down. Oh well.
Yeah, probably February of 2020.
Well, I guess it was, huh? All right. Well, here we go. We're gonna enjoy this because God knows I do, man.
I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce you to the band this evening. On the tenor saxophone, Mr. David Sidney Scott. You can see him again tomorrow night with the Dorian mode, so yeah. He's just gonna stay. He's got his sleeping bag, he's ready to go. On the drums, Mr. Tracy Rose. On the bass guitar, Mr. Mark Malazzo. My name is Spike-Sikes, thank you. The band's called the Awesome Hotcakes, yep. It ain't about your lipstick. It ain't about your lips. It ain't about your Levi's, just a hugging on your hips. It ain't about perfection. It ain't about that hoochie coo. It's all about that deep connection. Every time I connect with you, we gotta keep that deep connection. Baby, that's all it really is. Keep on moving in the same direction. We gotta keep that deep connection. Well, I can feel it in the morning when I wake up next to you, and the songbirds are singing in the sunlight is breaking through. It goes beyond chemistry. I know that you can feel it too. It's all about that deep connection. Every time I connect with you, we gotta keep that deep connection. Baby, that's all it really is. Keep on moving in the same direction. We gotta keep that deep connection. We gotta keep that deep connection. Baby, that's all my heartbeat, baby. You get right down to my soul. You can feel it when you're next to me, speeding out of control. Goes beyond chemistry. I know that you can feel it too. It's all about that deep connection. Every time I connect with you, gotta keep that deep connection. Baby, that's all that really is. Keep on moving in the same direction. We gotta keep that deep connection. We gotta keep that deep connection. Baby, that's all that really is. Keep on moving in the same direction. We gotta keep that deep connection. 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 We gotta keep that deep connection.
Sweet. That effect wasn't intentional, by the way, but it actually kind of worked out to my benefit, which a lot of mistakes do in life if you're creative and are prepared, right?
That's right. Willing to roll with it.
Well, I've learned more from my mistakes than I ever learned from things I did correctly. I walked away from shows going, that was a really good show. But if I really messed up something, I walked away going, damn, I'll never do that again. You do enough of those, it's like, okay, I got it. Okay, I got it.
I must mess up all the time. I remember all the shows. So.
Do you? Well, the older you get, my friend, the less memory you after a while you get more selective about what you're remembering, right? That's really an important part. Try to remember the good things in life. That's what I'm saying. And speaking of good things in life, Spike-Sikes, maybe we should play some music.
Let's do it.
Where do you want to start tonight? You brought two instruments with you.
I'll probably start with this guitar over here.
Start with that guitar over there. It's the only one there. It's got to be that guitar over there.
This one right here. Let's move that.
Fun stuff. So glad to have you here tonight. I get so much good talent coming through here, hanging out, eating a little dinner with me, and meeting the llama, and then playing some music, or just sitting around talking sometimes, And I appreciate all you, particularly, for dropping in and seeing what's going on in this world, It's a crazy world. You're welcome to it. Every Wednesday right here, 8 to 9 p.m. plus. I'm not really attached to time and space. I just kind of lock out that little hour, and where it goes from there, I don't know. We usually go on, a little bit beyond that just to keep the revolution happening correctly. Nothing happens perfectly in sync. Once again, All right. He's chattered enough. All right, my friends. Well, let's see. What do you want to preface this on a little bit? What do you have?
Yeah, sure. So this is a song that I wrote probably maybe about 2 weeks ago.
Really?
And it's just a kind of a nice, simple, a stroll.
Nice.
A stroll. Yeah.
I'm ready. For a stroll. Yeah. I'm ready for a stroll. All right. My friends, Spike-Sikes, what's the name of the song?
It's called Magnolia Street.
I love it.
I live on Magnolia Street. Come and see me sometime. I live on Magnolia Street. Come and see me sometime. I got some Billie Holiday records we can spin on the hi-fi.
There's a cherry tree right outside my window. There's a cherry tree right outside my window. I'll get you a soda pop, put something sweet on there for you. Ain't nothing fancy, but it's good enough for me. Ain't nothing fancy, fancy, baby, but it's good enough for me. I got my Billie Holiday records, I got my cherry tree. It ain't nothing fancy, baby, it's good enough for me. Ain't nothing fancy, fancy, baby, but it's good enough for me. I got my Billie Holiday records, I got my cherry tree. I live on Magnolia Street. Ooh, come and see me sometime. I live on Magnolia Street. Come and see me sometime. I got some Billie Holiday records, baby, blow your mind. I got some Billie Holiday records, won't you come and see me sometime?
Super nice.
Oh, thanks, man.
What can I say? You start off like that, and that's a beautiful thing.
Oh, thanks, man.
That takes me, that takes me back to like Taj Mahal stuff, and I guess it's all references. When you're a sound engineer, you base everything you do off references.
Oh, of course,
you know?
yeah.
You go, I heard this guy, I could mix him like that. I hear this guy, I can mix him like that, and that one I just go straight there, and they're all great references, and that means a lot to me.
Thank you.
Because if they don't remind me of anybody, then it's
right.
like, and that could be a good thing too. I mean, that could be a really good thing too. I mean, it could be like, wow, this guy's so crazy good. This like I don't even recognize this. But half the time it's like, no, he's like that, which is a great reference. So. Fantastic.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Well, that's a great way to start the evening right there. And we're into the evening already. I'm reading a little marginal on my output out there. Hope everybody's all right with me tonight. I'm sure they are, but it's all about looking at what's going on in my world. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. We're up. We're there. I see friends over here checking in. By the way, who's over here with us tonight? Oh, I can see this is the issue right here, isn't it? How am I going to? Oh, wait a minute. I know what I need to do. Let's say hi to a couple people.
All right, let's do it.
Because we wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you. Hello, Mary. There's only a couple people that's traveling in real time right now. I see 11 people out there watching, and that's a beautiful thing. But in real time, I'm giving a big hug to Ruthie Jojo, Jojo Roo. She'll be laughing about that right now. And Ruth and Mary. Hello, Mary. And Shazandra just popped in, too. Hi there. Hi there.
Hi there.
I know. Sometimes I just got to go there. Good to see you there, Shazandra. The shiz is in the house. The shiz. Great to have you with us here tonight with my guest right there. You can see the back of my head, but that's him looking. He looks better than I do right now. That's Spike-Sikes right there in my kitchen, Studio K. Now that we've said hello, we're going to spin back around and I think we'll probably dive into another song because we need to feed you people, right? I think we need to feed you people. Hang on a second here. Well, that's all right. That's my other persona.
Yeah.
Did you recognize him at all? Frank Zappa made me do it. That was for you, Shiz. All right. I'm all right over here. I do about the job of 3 people in here. No, 4 people at the same time right now. So, yeah, we're nailing it. We are nailing it, dude. We are nailing it. All right, now I'm back on course. Let's do another song, man.
You got it.
All right. What would you like to do? Where are you? What do you got in your pocket?
Yeah, I'll do this the other song. It's not quite as new, but it's also probably written in the last few months.
Cool.
It's called Her Name Was Alicia.
Her Name Was Alicia. There's a lot of good stuff coming out of this. So you find that too. How many songs did you write during this COVID period? Which time and space we have now, COVID period?
Probably about 80. 80
songs in a little over a year? Dude, and you've got kids? That's a lot. That's a lot of work, man. That's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, but I mean,
they just kind of fall out of you, don't they?
I look at it kind of like if you were a fisherman, right? So
True.
if you were a fisherman, you'd try to fish all the time, right?
Right.
And if you're somebody that goes out and you try to catch fish once a year,
right,
you may or may not catch any fish. But if you go fishing every day,
here you go,
you're gonna catch some fish. And so I try to write all the time, and I can tell you a lot of it you have to throw back.
Well, yes.
There's not a lot of keepers.
No, but, it's all about editing, isn't it? Really, I mean, you have to edit out.
Yeah.
It's not about always putting in. It's more like, what can I take out now to make it sound right?
And you learn lots of things along the way, how to keep things simpler and
Man, it's a skill and a practice, like a muscle, man.
Absolutely.
It's a muscle. You got to keep working it, and the brain is that. It works best when it's open.
Yeah.
So yeah, good for you. That's a lot of input. That's a lot of process for a year. Good for you. I've just been diving into technical ends, obviously, to be able to do stuff like this, and that's always fun for me because it enables me to help you do stuff like this.
And I'm super grateful for that.
It's amazing. Yeah. It's an amazing, fun process we do in here, as I tell people. And know that I'll be editing out some songs out of this and go back and repost them individually, so it's easy to find them and link you back to them, so you can have access to your individual spots. And if there's something you want to do from there with this material, I can help you with that too.
All right, man.
If I can't, Harry Gale can.
That's a good team, right?
That is a good team, man. I'm telling you, we're turning into the Love Tribe. Harry and the Professor sound like a movie.
I'm sure approval all the way around. So
so far it's worked gold for us. We did a project with David Petrie from the band $27 Snap-on Face.
Oh, that's
I had
a good
conversation with him today as well. There's some ancient history in the late 70s and early 80s right there from Sonoma County. And Harry and I resurrected a piece of material from the Spanky's performance.
Oh, wow.
Which really needed resurrecting. And yeah, Harry and I pulled together and did it. And it's on the YouTube site. Anybody can see it right there at Viral Media Art. It's youtube.com/Viral Media Art. That's where this show lives. That's where it's being broadcast to right now. And that's where you can go see it anytime you like. By the way, look at my hands change color. Look at that. Look at that. You notice I'm normal back here. I'm totally normal. But as I get closer to you, whoa, I know. I'm tripping myself out. Help me, Spike. All right. What's your next song?
It's called Her Name Was Alicia.
Alicia. I'm glad you said that because I forgot her name was Alicia.
Yeah, it's all good. Name tag told me so. I met her in a diner after the rodeo.
I like the way she smiled at me, kept my coffee from getting cold. She made me wanna settle down, stop living for the road. We got drunk at the Silver Spoon, sang a Bonnie Raitt song. I woke up on the road to Tulsa, rain coming down strong, you know. Sometimes I think about the way it might have been if I could just slow it down for a cup of coffee again. Would she even remember me on that night so long ago? Her name was Alicia, name tag told me so. She wore fake pearls, had a butterfly tattoo, greenest eyes I've ever seen, prettiest ones too. She had a boy named Davy, old man was a long time gone. It crossed my mind to take his place, but I just kept rolling on. I come up short on a Friday, I broke my leg in the rodeo. Fellas say I was distracted, I don't ride much anymore, you know. Sometimes I think about the way it might have been if I could just slow it down for a cup of coffee again. Would she even remember me that night so long ago? Her name was Alicia, name tag told me so. She smiled at me, kept my coffee from getting cold. She made me wanna settle down, stop living for the road. We got drunk at the Silver Spoon, I sang a Bonnie Raitt song. I woke up on the road to Tulsa, rain coming down strong, you know. Sometimes I think about the way it might have been if I could just slow it down for a cup of coffee again. Would she even remember me in that night so long ago? Her name was Alicia, name tag told me so. Her name was Alicia, name tag told me so. Her name was Alicia, name tag told me so.
Cool. Is that a true story?
No, just
a fictitious Alicia out there somewhere.
Yeah. In fact, so the pastor at the church that I go to in Petaluma, he told this story about a woman that he was interested in when he had been in college, and it had not worked out, and he was very glad that it had not worked out because now he's happily married to someone else. And the story sounded nothing like that one. The only thing I took from that story was the line, her name was Alicia. And actually the bass player in our band, Mark, he kind of gave me the nudge and said, hey, that's a good title for a song. And
yeah.
So I think I sat down one day and just kind of tried to imagine, like, well, if you were going to pitch a song to Willie Nelson or
there you go, and
Delbert McClinton or somebody like that.
Yeah, that's a great reference for that because you're absolutely right. I mean,
So kind of I don't usually write a lot of songs that are sort of narratives that way, but it was a good challenge.
I love the story, man. I love the story. Have you pitched any songs to any notable people like that? I mean,
so a long time ago, I pitched a song to Steve Winwood. And as far as I know, they did pick it up. They did go for it, but
really?
they didn't. they didn't include it on the album that came out afterwards, and so
That happens a lot.
it was close enough for me to be really excited about it. But,
Yeah.
huge
Well,
Steve Winwood fan. So
Well, yeah, as am I. Yeah, from years past. Yeah, well, that's always an option for people. You get out there writing a song for people, and they go, "Oh, look at this song this guy Spike-Sikes wrote." Well, and pretty soon you're writing them for all these other people, and
call me. I got lots of them.
There you go. There you go.
Whatever kind of song you want, I'd be happy to write it for
Hey,
you.
he writes 80 of them a year. I think he can help you out. No, that's writing is an amazing process to me. I mean, I have not been able. Well, I can write. I am writing a book called Another Day, Another Decibel, which is great for an audio engineer. It makes sense in my traveling world of time.
And a great title.
It is a good title, isn't it? Yep. I've got the Euro rights already, so I own it. I haven't filled it out. I'm writing it on a blog. Have you tried writing at all? Have you written any story, like what you would call a book or a biography, autobiography, or anything?
I have done quite a bit of writing. I actually probably prefer writing poetry, which is maybe not the most popular thing to say.
Well, it's all
right.
verse. You know, you can turn a poem into a song.
But I'm a big fan of a lot of the Beat Generation writers, and I would say, like, in addition to a lot of the the things that I'm trying to pick up for songwriting and music, just aside from all that stuff, I'm just a big fan. So I have lots. I probably have one of the largest collections of like in-depth beat literature.
That's
of anybody,
crazy.
so.
That's a love we really share. I didn't know that until just today because you mentioned Ken Nordine, and Ken Nordine's the sound spot that I use in the beginning of the show where he does this thing about the beginning.
Right.
I've done beat shows in here based on sound samples from Ken Nordine and William S. Burroughs, and it just goes on and on. There's so much talent. I love that era, the Beat Generation, 50s. 60s. I mean, in that era, there's a lot of stuff going on in New York, particularly.
Yeah, and
Allen Ginsberg and
well, and when we moved out to this area, just being attached to the Bay Area and its kind of legacy of beat literature has been huge. And also I think before any of that stuff, I was a big jazz fan, and so I feel like there's a lot of crossover between
jazz
kind of
fusion,
the world.
jazz fusion, or real straight up jazz.
Well, I love it all. I like good music, so it really like
back to that word honest again. Okay.
There's definitely a lot of stuff that passes for jazz that I'll pass on. But there's a lot of stuff that everything from the earliest stuff down to stuff that was made yesterday. If it's good and it's got good melodies, and
that's it.
And I especially love just like. People who have a great viewpoint on the way that they play. Maybe they got maybe they're a really bluesy player, or maybe they just have like a really kind of sideways cubist approach to improvising, or they got a really down home. Yeah. Mose Allison is somebody that I like a lot of his music.
Mose is amazing, isn't he? I mean, he's one of those guys that just, yeah. Sorry, I had my video head came in there, and I had to adjust an angle to prepare myself to juggle another ball in the air.
No worries. Yeah.
Well, still a little time check here. Our time is rolling along, and that's a beautiful thing. I'm wondering if. I'm saving a song. I'm saving a song in my pocket, and maybe it's a good time. I should really do this for a second because it'll give us all a chance to stretch for a second.
Okay.
Not next Wednesday, because I'll be in here myself again doing my evening with the professor, and who knows what will happen then. I'm not really quite sure. I never know, but it'll be fun. It's just me, and then might go back to some sound samples, and that's what I love to do on those shows. But basically, I want to talk a little bit for John Courage is coming in on June 9th with me. We had to put his show off and put it back a couple weeks. Going to have John come in. I've got a quick little video I want to play of John just to stir some interest in you, because as you know, there's no shortage of talent coming through my tiny house, and any way that I could pull people into my world and say, hey, check this out, and I know you're going to love it because I do. And in the end, it's really all about me. I don't know why. It's an engineer problem. It's a sound engineer problem. It's a control issue. But I do want to take a minute to play one quick song from John Courage, who's going to be joining me not next week, but the week after that. And you're going to love it. You're going to love it. I'm sure you're going to want to come back to that as well. So let me set us up real quick since I'm yakking away. He's right here. He's not far. And I'm really looking forward to John. I have no idea what I'm going to make him yet. We'll have to see for dinner. I'm not really sure yet. John Courage.
If if I had a dollar bill, I believe I surely will go to town and drink my fill early in the morning. Little darling, she's a red-haired thing. Man, she makes my heart to sing. Gonna buy her a diamond ring early in the morning. Always been a gambling man, rode them bones with either hand. 7 is the promised land early in the morning. Well, whiskey be my dying bed, tell me where to lay my head. Not with me is all she said early in the morning. Well, the mother was a golden girl. I slit her throat just to get her pearls. Threw myself into a world before a bunch of swine. It's a long way down the Harlan Road, busted back in a heavy load. Won't get through to save my soul early in the morning. Well, if I had a dollar bill, I believe I surely will go to town and drink my fill early in the morning.
There you go, John Courage.
I don't think he goes by John.
No, he does, but that was the echo delay. That wasn't me. That was another fancy digital delay trick I just did. You know, you get new gear and you have to work out your routine each week. So throw one more ball in the air. Remember to turn off the monitor system before you turn up your mains. It's just every day, every week, something new. You know, and that keeps life interesting and to me, well worth living. Darn it. If I can learn something new every day. You know what my individual motto is, and you've written so many songs you said within this last year. Mine is to create something new every day that wasn't there the day before. Could be anything. You know, could be good, could be not bad. The point is that you made the attempt to create something today that like you said, writing a song, you know, being good at it is doing it all the time and repetition to, you know, and learning.
Right, and just trying to put something good out there. I think, you know, we associate creativity with like, you know, trying to spend your time wisely versus wallowing in the blues kind of thing.
Yeah. People made a good living out of wallowing in the blues, I'll tell you, man.
Yeah,
I know a few. Oh, yeah. But no, I just appreciate it. You know, I wake up in my tiny house and I roll out of my tiny bed and I kind of, well, it's not that small, but I read this world. I go, well, do I want to work or do I want to play or where do I start? I mean, my world's very small, as you can see. It's either cook, be creative, or sleep. And those are my 3 options in here.
Or hanging with the llama.
Well, Louis is always a great, you know, and he's teaching me to slow down. That's what Louis is doing for me in my life. He, if you know anything about llamas, they operate about half the rate of speed that humans do. So you have to really slow
All right.
down to communicate with a llama. And that's a good thing because I'm always going, yeah, like that.
Rocking and rolling.
I got a lot going on in my head. Oh my goodness. Well, let's see. We're rolling right along. I think maybe another acoustic song is in order. What do you think?
You got it.
I think that's great, man.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's awesome. What do we got? Where are you taking us?
So this one is also like a fairly new song, and it's called Avocado Thunderbird.
Wait a minute. Before I even hear it, I have to hear how you got that title.
Well, you know, I keep a notebook that's got just titles and different things floating around. And I think at some point I probably saw a Thunderbird that was what I would describe as being an avocado
green. I got
avocado Thunderbird. And
yeah. Is that kind of like the flamingo pink? Is that?
Yeah. So I mean, the whole thing there is that it's like sometimes you have a good title floating around, and it's like you got to find the song that wants that title.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to wait. It's like you write it down, and so sometimes if I'm stuck for ideas, I'll go back through a little notebook and look at those things that are sort of going like, hey, me, pick
there
me.
You go. Good.
Look at me today. And
good.
Yeah, so that's kind of where
I kept a lot of those while I was traveling too as a tour engineer. I'd keep a little book with me, and every day when you get more colorful, I'd use more colored Sharpies. And you can look at it over the long term of what days were exciting and what ones weren't. Because tour, complete travel day, black pen, maybe a couple blue strikes in there, but a showtime that was awesome in San Diego, reds, greens, purples. It's like it's really a quick index on your life in a very interesting way with a tour diary. And for me, it's entering into my book. Once again, I think it's a wonderful way to collect your memories. Write more, that's why I suggest.
Right, yeah, and just interact with your memories too,
I found I couldn't write, and part of it's finding a correct way to do things for yourself, your own individual way through this little writing maze and what feels right to you. And I'm not a typewriter, but I would sit down with the word processor and go, okay, today I'm going to write a chapter. And it's the hardest thing to do, to sit down and go, I'm writing a chapter. It seemed overwhelming. But when I separated it into a blog and put it on my Google in blogs, then I could rearrange it anytime I wanted to. I could take this chapter, put it over here and over here. Now it's slowly arranging itself into a full ebook that'll eventually be an ebook release that'll hopefully eventually be a hard copy book. It's just like making a process for yourself that you can live up to, and hopefully, fulfill.
Right. Yeah.
But I found that easy. And writing's fun.
Yeah. Once you kind of get rolling with it.
Once you go, and it's hard to stop almost. You get a story happening, and I like to, my writing's very conversational. By the way, you can see any of my stuff on my website at viralmediaart.com. Just look up on the top, and it'll say a whole thing about ebook, and viralmediaart.com. That's my radio voice. I was told that I had a face for radio. So what are we officially sponsored by tonight? Oh my God! Oh, here he is. Hang on, we're unofficially sponsored tonight, like usual, with Lagunitas, little something, and of course the regular Hornitos agave. Unofficially sponsored. Someday somebody will actually give me a real sponsorship. I'll wake up and find a case of Lagunitas little something on my doorstep, or a box of Hornitos, and somebody will say thank you. I've been mixing it with ginger ale, ginger beer. Did I tell you?
Yeah, man. Sometimes you got to take that time to dream that way.
I do, man. I dream that way. I cook that way. I just try to live my life that way. What's the song you've got next here for us? What do you think?
It's called Avocado Thunderbird.
Oh, that's what you said. All right. So my mind's fading.
That's all good.
Let's hear it. Spike-Sikes with me on the Tiny House Live.
She drove an avocado Thunderbird, picked me up in the city. Every Tuesday we go for a ride. We just drive. We just drive. We just drive. We just drive. Another stop too. She like to keep the windows down. She like to keep the radio on. She like to be cool as a peach and just get real gone. Just drive. And just drive. We just drive. We just drive. Another stuff too.
She picked me up on 18th Street. She lighted a spot with some shade. I see that avocado thunderbird from a mile away. We just drive, 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 drive. We just drive, 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 drive. We just drive, 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 drive. We just drive, drive. Another stuck too.
You caught me on that one. I was so deep in the groove with you on that, man. I was already there.
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh,
I
thanks
love
very
that.
much.
God, it's so swingy, man. It's so old time vibe feel. It's just where does that come from? Where does that come from, Spike?
Gosh, so a tune like that, I would say that it has this whole sort of lineage, right? There's like people like Chucky Weiss. The namesake of the Ricky Lee Jones song, Chucky's in Love. Chuck,
that makes sense.
Chuck Weiss has some tunes that are kind of like that, and then of course Tom Waits definitely has some stuff that are. I'm not nearly as eloquent as Tom is on all this stuff. Mostly because I don't have those kind of memory skills. I can't remember that 15 verses and stuff. But
do that.
But yeah, and then people like Morphine. I think also kind of 90s band.
Wow.
They do some of that stuff.
You remember Morphine, too?
Yeah. So
it's awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
I think some of that bass line type, based stuff, just trying to strip it back to a melody and a little bit of a groove.
was bass and sax, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Bass and sax and drums, right?
2-string slide bass, drums, low voice. I don't have that one, and then the baritone saxophone.
Wow. Yeah, I remember that. I was mixing some punky bands from Seattle, bringing them down to Magnolias during that whole era. Man, Morphine. That's cool. We have some great connections in our references of the world around us.
That's great, man.
It is, man.
Absolutely.
I noticed it right away. We connected on the Ken Nordine this afternoon. I'm all about that. Man.
Ken Nordine.
So that's what I love about this. Every time I invite somebody in my little world, we got to dive in this. We would never do this maybe if we had lunch, we would do this. But when you do it and you're on the spot and you're in here talking like this, things come out and you kind of go, wow, we would have never touched on that had we had shared a hamburger.
I dig it, man.
But in this environment, yeah, we do. and honestly, to me, as I found, I'm just more about archiving, and I had a conversation today with a couple friends of mine who were trying to pull together a team to find out what do we do with all these lifetimes of recordings we have. Me, being an audio engineer for 30 plus years, I've got 16 years of recordings from the Mystic Theater I would love to do something with, but they're not factory DVDs. They're one-offs of board mixes from great bands that'll never be heard unless somebody. So anyway, I'm trying to put together a team to figure out what to do with this. The Sonoma County Library or some official place where we could actually use that as a depository for all of our recordings and digital recordings and all records and posters, and set up a format where we can show them off, to the community.
Some great stuff in there. Yeah.
Oh man, I know. I've got 3 people already kind of working on this team idea with us to pull together to see what to do with our county's history of music from we'll say the 70s on, to be rough about it, but yeah, so much stuff. And I've touched on a few of those shows in here with people who were there. The Eric Martin show I did not that long ago here with Mr. Big. That's stuff going back to the late 70s, and my David Petrie in here that I did with $27 Snap-on Face. That's 1979 history. So Mick Whittington back there with the Imposters with Johnny Campbell. It's just the list goes on and on if we keep going further back. And fortunately for me, I was on audio engineering during those, so for me it was like, wow, I've got some evidence of it. So, but what do you do with it?
It's a great seat to have in the house.
Yeah, but you want to share that seat. I don't want to just pass away with all these records, all these one-off CDs that end up thrown out because they're not even good enough to put in a Goodwill. I mean, you can't, so it's like, but it's a freaking Johnny Winter concert on there, it's like Leon Russell, so it's like whatever. I've got a bunch of that stuff. Anyway, going off into my world. I'll figure it out. I'm working on it. And there's my hand here. I like that color when my hand color changes when he said. It's the magic of tiny house. Fortunately, I don't have my fog machine plugged in tonight. Otherwise, I'd really be distracted. All right, my friends. Well, we're doing great. We just hit the top of the hour right there. I think you've got a mandolin in your pocket. Are you just glad to see me? I don't know. Where does my mind go? You know, where does it go? But so glad to have you here with me tonight, Spike-Sikes, and all of you out here tonight in our little tiny house world. Just having a great time doing this. Oh, ain't she cute? Darn. All right, I got to get a good close-up on this little guy right here. Because what I've got coming up, you're going to love this. God, that's really cute. What is it? It's a Gretsch.
It's a Gretsch ukulele.
Dude,
yeah.
I have a friend out there right now, Jojo. Jojo, pay attention. He's got a good ook. You're going to like it. Where are you going to go?
So this tune that I'm going to do for you is kind of it's sort of a hybrid. It's part a Sam Cooke song.
Really?
Called Having a Party. And it's partially borrowed from a Van Morrison song called Hey Mr. DJ. And then I wrote my own bridge. So, you know, if you dislike the bridge, it's all me.
The rest song was great, but I'm not sure about the bridge.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, but I noticed some similarities between those, the Sam Cooke song and the Van tune. And I wanted to do both of them, and I thought, well, we should just...
mash up.
We should just kind of mash them together.
Yeah.
And yeah, putting a bridge to it just kind of helped... you know, bridge the gap between the two things. So that's kind of the idea.
I love it. I'm all into mashups.
Yeah.
Whatever form, you know, just different influences. All right, let's hear this.
All right,
brother.
We're having a party. Everybody's swinging, dancing to the music on the radio. Cokes are in the icebox, popcorn's on the table. I'm having such a good time, I'm dancing with my baby. Hey there, Mr. DJ, play some Sam Cooke tonight. I'm dancing with my baby. I wanna hold my baby tight. Hey there, Mr. DJ, won't you play me that Brother Ray? I'm having such a good time, dancing with my baby. Keep the good times rolling, rolling all night long. Keep the music flowing, flowing till the blues are gone. 'Cause we're having a party, everybody swinging, dancing to the music on the radio. Cokes are in the icebox, popcorn's on the table. I'm having such a good time, I'm dancing with my baby. Keep the good times rolling, rolling all night long. Keep the music flowing, flowing till the blues are gone. 'Cause we're having a party, everybody swinging, dancing to the music on the radio. Cokes are in the icebox, popcorn's on the table, and I'm having such a good time, I'm dancing with my baby. I'm having such a good time, I'm dancing with my baby. You know I'm having
such a good time dancing with my baby.
I love it. You know. What can I say, man? Great work tonight. You know.
Oh, thanks very much, man.
Absolutely. You know, I started off the show by saying how I keyed, you know, good music and good performance. It's really honesty stuff, man. Every one of your songs, I kind of go, I hear it. I mean, I can resonate with it. It's not like you're not parroting a song. Thank you very much.
Oh, thanks very much. I appreciate that.
I don't know what better compliment I can give an artist is that they sound like themselves yet have great references.
Oh, thank you.
That just means you've been paying attention to history.
Well, I love music, you know,
Yeah,
I'm lucky to teach music to kids, you know, and I teach up at Speed of Sound Music in Healdsburg, all ages, a lot of different instruments.
Great, a little shout out for music instruction teachers.
Yeah,
Good for you.
And I tell all the kids that I'm working with, you know, especially ones who are trying to learn how to play jazz or something like that, you know, that it's like, you know, we didn't invent this music, and so, you know, if you want to be good at it, you have to be a student of it. And also, there's really no point in trying to get good at music if you don't love it. Like, you have to, you know. I mean, if you want an easier life, then go do something else. But music itself kind of requires a kind of like a level of devotion to it.
There's a commitment for sure.
Yeah,
it's a tough one too. It costs a lot of people their lives too. Artists in general, not just musicians, but artists in general pay the price.
Yeah, absolutely,
they really do. And this is why that we need to honor and really support our musicians and creative people in general, because I mean, God, this stuff is inspiring, man. If you don't miss things till they're gone. And if it was a musical West world, boy, we'd be.
Count me out.
Count me out. I'm telling you. Well, my friend, I thank you so much for being here with us tonight. I just love every moment of it, you know. And how was the gumbo?
Oh man, killer!
I got it.
Fantastic.
Killer gumbo.
Killer gumbo.
All right. They see it out there. They know I love to cook. Yeah, it's part of my show. I put out a video or a little post earlier today. What's my special guest having tonight for dinner? So I try. I love it. It's all part of the performance, man. It's all part of the production.
Well, it was very much appreciated. I love it.
Light, video, sound, audio, hospitalities, you know, tour guide, introduce you to llama.
Introduce me to the llama.
Bartender, you know, it's what other ball can I juggle and throw in the air? You know, I know one I want to do though. I want to close out tonight. We're going to come back and we'll speak just for a minute and wave goodbye in a minute. But I want to play something that really struck me really strong off your album. It's California Days, and the video you put out and Tracy Rose.
Tracy Rose
did a video for her. I just loved it. I videographer. I love that. He had a drone flying over you. I know what it takes to do that stuff. Nice work, Tracy Rose. And I'm going to play that next, and we'll come back and wave goodbye to everybody. But I would be remiss if I didn't take one of your songs that I just love from your new release and didn't play it tonight. I was going to play it at the beginning of the show, and I said, no, hold on. I'm going to save this for the end. So we'll come back and say goodbye in just a minute. But for the moment, let's have a quick listen to one last video song here from Spike, California Days. Anything else you want to say about this before we dive in?
I mean, I just would, you know, draw people's attention to the video itself. I mean, if you want to see it again, it's up on YouTube, and Tracy just did a knockout job on the video. So
yeah, he really did.
He's got lots of other stuff up too. Check out his other videos.
And he drums.
Right.
Some of my best friends.
He's the best drummer I think in the whole region. Like I would put him outside the county. He's an incredibly versatile drummer. He's very skilled, and he's also just he's such a high energy, such a nice person to work with. So it's like, on top of being a great drummer, he's a great person.
Well, you know what? You just described an artist as opposed to a musician or a painter or a sculptor. You described an artist. It's something we all live with. It's just, you know, I love that, and I love this video. So I'm gonna play this right now for us, and we'll come back. We'll say goodbye to everybody.
Maybe it's just a dream, but I want you to take me back. Take me back to them California days. We can ride the coast straight up to Monterey, to the line we used with the windows down, let the Beach Boys play some old song about them California days. When the stars are falling, we can find a place to stay. Made the kind of love we did in them California days. Oh, them California days. Them California days. We were staring out at the ocean, just listening to the waves. And all of our troubles were a million miles away in them California days. Them California days. We were staring out at the ocean, just listening to the waves. All of my troubles were a million miles away in them California days. Them California days. Cypress trees all along the bay, looking out into the blue of them California days. You gotta take me back before the light fades away. Take me back to them California days. Whoa, them California days. Them California days. You gotta take me back. You gotta take me right back, babe, to them California days. Oh, them California days. You know them California days, babe.
Goodness. California days, man. I understand. I do, man. I really do. I've been a Californian for my entire lifetime. My entire lifetime. All right, my friend. What we're going to do right now is we're gonna. What did I say we're going to do? Oh, you were going to talk about the horn player. I'm sorry.
Right, yeah. So I
Mary
guess
asked.
somebody had asked about the horn section. So on the Barry sax, we got Ray Fernandez played the Barry sax.
Yeah.
The tenor saxophone on that song is Rick Clifford from the Pulsators.
Ah, yes.
He's also been playing a bunch of gigs with us lately, and he's terrific. And then the guy playing trumpet is Zachary Thorne.
Uh-huh.
He's a part of a lot of different groups in the area. Originally with Miss Moonshine, and then I think currently he plays with Sam Chase, and he also does some gigs.
Yeah, love Sam Chase.
Freelance work.
There you go. Hey, I love your hat too, by the way.
Right back
Oh,
at
me?
you.
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
yeah.
What? We're like brothers,
When
aren't
did
we?
we
Got
find
the
these
hats,
hats?
the Ken
Yeah.
Nordine stuff, dude. Jeez, you know.
We have to work up a whole Ken Nordine routine around hats.
You know, I'm going to check out the thing on colors with Ken Nordine. That's where I'm going to go next.
Fedoras.
The fedoras. Great name for a
Berets,
band, man.
yeah.
The fedoras.
The fedoras.
Everybody have to wear a fedora, though, right? I don't know.
Except the one guy who look like the ZZ Top or something. I don't know.
You got your agave behind you? Let's do a little toast. Let's do a little toast together. Say goodnight to everybody. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being part of this evening tonight. My friend Spike-Sikes right here. Spike's Awesome Hotcakes. Catch him wherever you can in the county, whenever you can. We're all going to be out there. We're going to be out there crazy live. Can't wait to get out there. I'll be putting my cameras between you and them as soon as possible. So
lots of chances to hear the band too. So
good,
yeah.
good. Well, more the merrier is what I'm saying these days. More the merrier. All right, everybody, let's wave goodbye. Kind of show you a little of my wisteria on the way out. Love you all. Love you all. House Live. Take care of yourselves, won't you? Tiny House Live. Tiny House Live.